What is up, everybody? Welcome to Stormy Coasters. Today, I will be sharing with you my experience at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Now, it has been about a year, and I did like a lot those days because some rides didn't have a super long line, so I could just ride those over and over again. So, yeah, it was like a lot that day. So, I might not remember everything, but I'll try my best to remember. Okay, so we pulled up to the park in our car. Um, but before we got to the park, my parents ordered they ordered some Busch Gardens Williamsburg tickets for 2 days online. The 1 day ticket was $80, but the 2 day tickets were $60, uh, for both days. And not individually, together. Both days together. So, we got the 2 day ticket, and, we arrived at the park around 6:30 p.m. on, I forgot what day. It was sometime in June, 2021. I just forgot that the, 1 year anniversary of my channel was 4 days ago. But, so we pull up to the park, and then park in a parking spot, and then pull up to the park, or, walk up to the park entrance. And I was pretty stunned on how beautiful it was. People are always talking about how pretty it is. The pictures aren't, the pictures can't show you how good something looks. Only the actual sight of something. So, yeah. But when we got to the park, we went up to the train, and, I didn't really film that much the first day. I don't think I filmed any the first day except, in the car. But, we walked over to Invader for a ride on it. It had, a pretty long line, but not too terribly long. Probably about 25 minutes. So, yeah. But we got a ride on Invader. And then I believe we headed to Alpengeist, I believe. So, yeah. Alpengeist was hit. And we sadly only got one ride on Alpengeist. I kind of wanted to get more. I actually told my family that I wanted to get more, but, we didn't go back to that area. Well, we actually crossed that bridge a couple times, but that was mainly to film and other stuff. So, yeah, Alpengeist was, really fun. It was probably my favorite invert. Yes, that's including Banshee. So, yeah. So then I believe we went over to Griffin and rode that 3 times. Yeah. To be honest, to me it was kind of weak. It gave a small pop of floater air, but the drop had some good weightlessness. But my parents thought that it was pretty fun. My favorite part of the ride was probably whenever, it hung at the top for a couple seconds, and then, looking out onto that river, but you know, drops are probably more forceful whenever they're done right after the lift hill and rather than stopping. So yeah, but yeah, we rode that a couple of times. Um, my family was so surprised that it stopped at the top, and for every single ride at Busch Gardens Williamsburg after that, they're like, "Does this ride stop at the top?" So yeah, it was kind of funny. Um, but then we went over to Apollo's Chariot to ride that once, and then we called it the end of day number one. So yeah, um, I'd say that was a pretty fun day. Uh, Nothing outstanding, but it was really fun. And now for day number two. Um, we got to the park and headed straight for Invader. We rode that a couple of times. That was actually my favorite coaster in the park, just because it gave the best airtime in the park. Sadly, Pantheon wasn't open. Oh, I wish that it was open, but hey, I can potentially come back to the park. Just hopefully I don't get over 6'2" or whatever the maximum height limit is. Uh, because my doctors are projecting me to be about 6 feet, 6'1" specifically. But yeah, we rode Invader. I don't really remember what else we did. Oh, I think we ate lunch after riding that a couple of times. No, maybe we rode Griffin. I don't really remember too well, but I think we rode Griffin and then went to eat lunch. So yeah. We went to, well, I didn't really get that much. I got some grapes, but the grapes didn't really taste like grapes. They tasted pretty tart. But I had to eat. But then I believe we headed to Loch Ness Monster. I don't know why, but on these videos, the first day, even though it's shorter, I explain it longer than the second day, probably because everything's so new that first day. But yeah, we went to Loch Ness Monster. It had a pretty decently long line. But yeah, I also got to film some of Alpengeist, and I filmed like a ladybug crawling on a rock, and I also filmed some of the Loch Ness Monster, and there was like a turtle crawling on a log. It was beautiful, and yeah, here's the interlocking loops of Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness Monster, to be honest, wasn't really forceful at all. Like, it's just a coaster. It exists. I wouldn't really care if they tore it out, but I know that some people really like it, so yeah. But yeah. Um so after Loch Ness Monster, we headed to Tempesto, which I believe had the longest line in the park, or maybe Verbolten had the longest line in the park, but yeah, we rode Tempesto once. I absolutely hated that ride. Like, the restraints or the comfort collars were literally right next to my ears, and the ride was a little bit jerky, so my ears were just playing pinball with the comfort collars the whole time. No, the comfort collars were playing pinball with my ears the whole time, and that got really annoying. So, yeah, I'm never riding that ride again. So, it makes me wonder how I'd like the RMC Raptors and the other premier rides, launch coasters. But, yeah, I did not like Tempesto at all. It's one of my least favorite coasters, but that out of the way, Well, we went to Verbolten. We got a little bit lost looking for Verbolten. I'm too lazy to cut that out, just because like it would take like a long time to cut that out. But we went to Verbolten, and we rode it. It wasn't really that intense, except for the surprise element. I'm not going to tell you it. But my family was not expecting it. I was the only person in the group who expected it, which that's because like I'm a doozy. But like, yeah, Revolton had a pretty long line, but yeah, like my family was amazed by that surprise element. And I thought it was like pretty intense. Like, I don't know why, but like the surprise drops are a lot more intense than the non-surprise drops, or whatever they're called, like the expected drops. But yeah, after riding Verbolten, we went to get some dinner in I believe it's called the Fest House. I don't remember what I got there, but it was a fun show there. But after that, we rode the train to wait. Yeah, we rode the train to Invader. Yeah, because I wanted to ride that a few more times, and then we called it quits for the day. Well, the park closed, and we rode the train back to the front, and then we exited the park. But yeah, it was a pretty fun video, or not a fun video, a fun visit. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The staff aren't like the best, but they aren't rude or anything. But yeah, I enjoyed my visit at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to Stormy Coasters and like this video. I was going to say shout out to somebody, but nobody's helping me on this video. Subscribe to Stormy Coasters and like this video. Did I already say that? I don't know. I hope you enjoyed. Comment your experience at Busch Gardens Williamsburg if you visited, and have a good day.